Good morning, everyone. It is morning until the clock on the wall stops striking. This is the portion where I kind of roll a little bit of live footage before we actually start the live stream. Let the notifications go out and let let everybody get involved, get into the chat and get going and everything. And now that the clock on the wall has stopped bonging, we can go ahead and get going. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope your Easter Sunday is going well. Happy Easter. And happy Sunday to those who don't celebrate Easter. So let's take a couple minutes to say welcome to live Q&A number 34, believe it or not. Wow, who'd have thought it? Today we'll be talking about some of the combine modes in VCarve Desktop, VCarve Pro, and Aspire, and then we'll get into your questions. But first, let's go ahead and take a roll call out here in the chat. We got Mervyn from Poppy's Woodshed. Good morning. Dale Francis joining in. E-Cabinets Tips and Tricks. Thank you for being there. Jeff Rozak. The Javisaurus from Javi's Woodshop. Y'all need to go over and check out Javi's YouTube channel and his webpage. I will add links in the description below to Javi and his Javibox CNC control system. And he's doing a good job over there. I tell you what, he is just tearing it up. He is the soldering king right about now. He may not appreciate the shout out now that I think about it, because it's just more work for him. Let's see. Ice Cream 62. Hope all is fine. He says, yes, all is fine here. Wife and I are doing just great. We're both retired. We stay home. We like it that way. Kurt Briegel from snowy Wisconsin. Dave Kraus. Steve Neelan from Harneal Media, webmaster to the stars. There's a link to Harneal Media in the description box below. Every video I put out, he sponsors Mark Lindsay CNC, and he does a heck of a job in the process. Ayal Peleg, how you doing today? David Crook, Jack Painter. Let's see, James Grant from Cornwall, England. John DeRoos, Stephen Maine. Boy, look at all these places. I mean, we have Israel, we have England, we have Italy, we have Australia, we have Grant from Ottawa, Canada, Kevin Els from South Africa. I mean, wow, this is great. I love this kind of stuff. Gary Hammett joining on board. Steve Martin. Okay, haven't got time to hang around waiting. I loved your work in the movie The Jerk, by the way, Steve. Thank you for joining us. Gary Durrell, Bob Helt the Bridal, Andrew W., Jim Sinicola, Jim Johnson, Charles Lawrence, Charles Wallace, Jill Knight, howdy, Wendell Holland, John C. from Wood If I Could, that's Mr. John Cousins, Jim Hester, Greg the Snow Crusher. The Patricks has stepped into the building. Happy Easter to you, Patrick, or Patrick, for those of you who can speak. And Rita Rami from Morocco. Holy cow. Man, this is, I just turned 59 a little while back, and this whole thing with sitting here and in my little room here in Oregon, talking to people in Morocco and Israel and Australia and just all over the South Africa. Are you kidding me? I never knew anybody from South Africa. But man, it's just still fascinating to me that you can do all this stuff. And I know it's old, the internet's old hat by now, but not to me. There's still a little bit of voodoo involved in all this stuff. Let's see, Terry Baker. Steve Martin, Ruprecht in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Absolutely. Another great movie. Um, Alan Fowler, welcome aboard. Okay, this morning's video, a couple of explanations, was some of the combine modes that are available in VCarve and Aspire for use in 3D modeling. And I started out, or we're going to demonstrate the first four modes. But as I got into it and got to explaining, you guys see the video after the edit. I was about 40 minutes into recording when I looked down at the clock and I said, this is way too much. And I decided two things. Number one, if I brought in the low mode, it was probably going to take another 10 to 15 minutes. And I would probably confuse some folks with the difference between subtract and low combine mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do the low combine mode when I do the multiply combine mode. And multiply is pretty technical. There are some things you got to look at, some things you got to remember. It's well, you'll see when the video comes out. I'm getting ready to start recording it probably day after tomorrow, and it gets pretty technical, the multiply, and I'll include the low combine mode then with it. That way, I just wanted to separate the confusion, and the video was running long. I had no idea that I would be paring out that much of it to get it down to about 25 minutes. So, what can I say? Okay, and let me go ahead. I'm going to do a screen share here. We'll get into Aspire. And I had a couple of questions. Let me go ahead and throw a couple of models up here and just get going. I'll go into my clip art, and I'll go ahead and I'll do the flat square here and bring it out. And let's see what else. I'll go ahead and I'll put a small dish here. And this I'm just, pulling designs out of thin air. I'll go ahead and we'll do this weave here in the center. I'll zoom out, bring that down. And we'll add that right about like so. Okay. We'll go back to the modeling tab. Let me take a look in my 3D view. Yeah, we've got a combine mode here. We'll have to add that. All right, so what I've got here is I have my flat plate, then I have my dome. And now if you look at this weave, this is a domed shape here. And this Celtic knot has formed itself to the shape of that dome. By being in the add mode, I've added this dome on top of this flat square. Then I've added the weave in the add combine mode, and it formed this Celtic knot to fit that shape. Okay, that's one thing to remember right there. Now, the question I got earlier was, when it's time to calculate tool paths, do I have to do this in any specific order? Will I have to do the Celtic knot as one 3D tool path, then the dome, then the flat panel here? And the answer to that is no. When I go over here to calculate tool paths, I'll just select all three, then come in and I'll just do a 3D finishing tool path, Okay, now when you go into a 3D finishing toolpath, it brings you into material setup, especially if you have an error like I have. I did not pay attention to shape heights. So as we see right here, I have an error. The model thickness exceeds the material thickness. My material is 3/4 of an inch, and this model thickness is just slightly under an inch thick. Now I can do this one of two ways. I can go back out of here and go back over into my drawing tab, or excuse me, my modeling tab, and I can adjust individual heights. Or I can click this button right here, and I can scale everything right here to make it 0.74 inches. Apply it, and it scales the Z height down on everything. So I have now 10,000ths of an inch of material right here to machine away, and the rest of my models are now just slightly under 3/4 of an inch thick. Then I can click OK. Then it'll take me into the 3D finishing toolpath. I'll just calculate it, making no changes. I'll go to the model boundary and use whatever bit I have there, calculate it, and then we'll preview it. This will take a second to calculate because I'm not doing this in post-production. I'm doing this on the fly. I can't speed up the calculating process like I do in the video. And it takes a minute or two. So we should be, there we go. And I'll have that set as fast as I can go. I won't. Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and preview that. And while that's previewing, we can see that even with all of the settings that I had, it's going to preview, it's going to carve all of those elements at the same time. Basically the minute you put all those separate models onto the same layer, onto that same level, as long as that level is selected and visible, everything on that level will be carved when it's time to calculate the toolpath. So you can see I took no special care to machine orders or, tool pathing orders or cutting orders or anything like that. I just made sure all three were selected, and that forced me to select this knot first because it's up on top. I had to select it first, then select the dome, then select my plaque. But as you can see in the preview, it's cutting all of them at the same time. That's what the combine mode is for, is to combine the three models into one. Now, this is not one specific model that can be saved and used. I would have to bake these, then export them. But you can see I don't have to finish up this preview. I'll just go ahead and stop it by clicking that red X that was down here. But you can see from looking at this that it cut all three of those models with no special attention being paid to which got cut first. So looking at how much material is being removed, I should have done a roughing toolpath. But that's okay. You get the message. You see what's going on there. So, I hope that answers that question. So, let's see. Here's hoping that answers that question right there. You don't have to pay any kind of special attention to machining orders or anything like that. So, let's kind of cruise back up here and see if there are any questions going here. Jim Hester, great video today. This is the best explanation of the combined modes I've ever seen. I plan to imitate it in VCarve. with the video so I can get a better feel for it. But you've helped immensely. Well, thank you, Jim. I do appreciate. Tony Cruz, your followings prove one thing: you're the best. No, I am not, Tony. Thank you for the vote of confidence. But I know several people personally. There are literally millions of people worldwide who are better than I am at this stuff. I'm still learning. I learn every day. And I just try to help clear up the confusion. That's all. I mean, there are lots of tutorials out there, and there are a lot of better teachers out there. I just try to break it down to language that everybody can understand, even guys like me. So, let's see. James Grant, thank you very much for that. Let's see. What have we got going here? Okay. Well, you're welcome for the shout out, Javi. Okay. Amar Barakat, I want to know the difference between fade and tilt in 3D component properties. I will be getting to that very soon. Fade and tilt and clipping also. I'm trying to find the right project to demonstrate fade, tilt, and clipping. But when I get it, you guys will really be impressed. There are some very, very cool effects that you can get with fade, tilt, and clipping. So, but that's yet to come. I'm sorry, I don't have a video on it yet. Okay, Ayal, let's see. Can you take two of those domes, make them partially overlap on top of the material, and make one of them, add another one, subtract? Let's see. Let me see if I can, if I'm getting what you're saying here, Ayal. Let me go back over to Aspire. We'll reset that preview, close, go back over here. And I've had a lot of people get upset at me that I don't save this stuff. But it's just, not that difficult to do. So let me see if I'm getting what you're saying here. Domes. Let's go with a little bit steeper dome. So I'll go with, let's say, one here. And another one. Well, I don't even need to do that. I can just, come on, delete that dome. Click off there. Delete the dome. And this Control Shift. And copy one over here. Yeah, let's kind of overlap these about like so. Yeah, let's overlap those, go into modeling, and we've got the two merged. And yeah, let's come on. There, let's bring that one in a little further. There we go. Now you're talking about taking another dome, a third dome, and let's go with a little bit shallower dome this time. Bring it in. Make it a little bit smaller. Yeah. And bring it right over where those two overlap. And then we'll change this to subtract. Let's see if that's what you're talking about. Is that what you mean, Ayal? Is that similar to what you were thinking? It's kind of a goofy shape, but okay. So, but yeah, it is possible. Let's go ahead and delete all of that. Leave it blank for the next time. Hopefully that was what you were asking. I don't know if that's what you meant, but yeah. Let's see. Gavin Scott, have you covered wrapping as I'm wanting to learn a hollow barley twist? I have not yet. I've just gotten into, I've had my rotary axis for about a year, and I'm just starting to get back into designing for the rotary axis. I got my rotary axis about the time version 9 of VCarve was coming out, and that was when they introduced the rotary job in the job setup. You had single-sided, double-sided, and rotary. And so my method for creating a rotary project changed after that update to the software. So I'm still getting into it, still learning it, and it's getting there. It's a process. I'm the kind of person that I don't like to do a video on stuff until I've got several under my belt. And so there's a reason why I haven't demonstrated a lot of the tools, and it's because mainly I've not used those tools. There's a reason I don't get into using a diamond drag bit for engraving acrylic or something like that. It's because I haven't done it yet. I don't cut plastics. I don't cut acrylic. I'm getting ready to get some rigid foam installation, the extruded polystyrene, and start practicing with it. But the reason I haven't done any videos on using that material is because I've never done it. So I have a philosophical problem with attempting to teach someone something I've never done myself. So there's a lot of things that I haven't got on my channel yet. And a lot of the rotary axis work I'm still just getting into. But I don't know that I can help you with the barley twist itself. If I'm not mistaken, I think Legacy Woodworking has some videos on doing the hollow barley twist. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a link to Legacy. There, I made myself a note. I'll put a link to Legacy Woodworking's YouTube channel in the description of this video, and so you can check it out yourself and see. But I think they have a video on doing a barley twist. I'm not sure if it's a hollow barley twist, but I know they have a barley twist video. So, let's see. Forgive me if I butcher your name. I really apologize here. I believe that's Augur Mage. Expecting my Sharp HD5 this week. Any advice on setting it up? Yes. That would be go over to the Shark HD support forum, join, and post any and all questions over there. I do not know anything about a Shark HD other than what I've read online. I've never been in the same building with one. The way these support forums work is they are hosted by the company. Like I believe the Shark HD forum is hosted by Next Wave Automation. I may be wrong there. And there may be one or two employees that are members, but the overwhelming majority of the membership is users, just people like you who own a Shark HD, and they are there to help one another get set up, get the settings right, tips, tricks, help with troubleshooting, things like that. So I would definitely hit the Shark HD forum. I believe it's called Shark Talk. I'm not certain. Just Google Shark HD support forum, then join and become a member over there and get in good with those folks. They love to share tips and tricks. They love to help folks troubleshoot. These people own the machine. They know the machine. And they're the people to look to for advice on that. Personally, I have never been in the same building with a Shark HD, so I really don't know anything about it. Okay, let's see. Um, let's see. Somebody was asking. There we go. Dale Francis was asking, what bit would you use for the flowers on today's video? Um, I have a choice of a couple of bits. I have one that is a 16th inch tip diameter, and I have one on order that is a 1/32 inch tip diameter. And for the little demo that I did in today's video, I used the 16th inch tip diameter, and that left some stuff there. I could be better. It would look a lot better with the smaller bit, but that takes a lot of time. I am going to be doing a video hopefully the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to depend on I'm waiting on somebody to talk to me. It may be 2 weeks, it may be 3 weeks, but I'm going to do a video on a technique to help reduce the carving time in some of these 3D models. So let's see. Just the first two, IL says. Okay, no third. All right. Okay, yeah. You can basically combine those in just about anything. And, IL, let me just say this. I don't know if you've downloaded the trial version of the software or not. I know you're still working on getting your machine, but try it. Just try it. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. So, it's you don't have to wait on me to try something. Just give it a shot. And that's what the preview process is for. So, give it a shot. And if you don't like it, yeah, don't worry about it. So, Jim Sinicola says, Vectric has a hollow barley twist video. I did not know that. I'll look for it, and if I can find it, I'll link it in the description of this video. So, let me write that down. Barley twist. All right, got that. Dave Gatton in the house, the master. Let's see, 2 or 3 big boxes behind me. No, those are empty shipping boxes there, ice creams. No new toys. Well, I take that back. There is a new toy. This is called Foreshadowing. I don't know if you can see this bit or not. I can't tell. My camera's a little bit behind. We'll see if it focuses on this. This is a 60-degree, quarter-inch diameter, 60-degree V-bit, which is designed for inlays. And yes, I finally got my inlay bit. I am going to get into it, and we'll see what happens. That may be a month or two down the road, but I'm finally getting into the inlays. Let's see. What do we got here? Richard Weiss confirms I have a Shark and their tech support's very good. I've never had any problems. They've always cleared up anything that was wrong. Good to know, Richard. Thank you. I appreciate that. And a couple people also jumping in to say, yes, Next Wave Automation is good support for the Piranhas as well. So, good deal. You do it. How you doing? Haven't seen you around in a while. Okay, is there any questions on this morning's videos? Let's see. Jim Hester says, concerning pink foam, my best friend just did a job in it and found that his CMT 60-degree laser point bit, 3 flutes, cut far better than the 60-degree with 2 flutes. Maybe something to remember. Yeah, thank you, Jim. I do appreciate that. I have heard that as well, that 3 flute bits and even 4 flute bits work better in that foam. You're not so much concerned with making chips as you are with wood, because that foam is just going to basically disintegrate anyway. because it's not the real dense, high density urethane or anything like that. It's not like sign foam. So, no, it is not sign foam. They're eCabinets tips and tricks. It's basically the blue/pink insulating foam available down at the big box home improvement store. But I've heard and seen a lot of neat projects made out of it. I'm in a small town. I can't get sign foam without going down, without ordering it online and paying for shipping. And that stuff gets expensive after a while. So I'm right in between. I either have to drive north to Portland 4 hours or south to Sacramento 4 hours to get any of this stuff. So I'd love to get my hands on some sign foam. I'd love to get my hands on some Color Core by King Manufacturing. And that is a HDPE plastic that is one color, for instance, white, with a green HDPE layer over the top of it, and you carve through the green into the white. You've seen it. You've seen the material all over the place. People make various outdoor signs and what have you. So, let's see. Amar Barakat says, low combine, you don't mention it. As I explained at the beginning of this video, as I was recording, I had intended on doing the low combine in this video, but as I got into it, I decided I wanted to eliminate some confusion, and this video was running long as I recorded it. So, the next video I do on combine modes, I will do the low combine mode and the multiply combine mode in the same video. So there will be a part 2 to this series, but I just didn't want another hour-and-a-half long video, and nobody got time for that. So that will be coming soon. So, Andrew W., what is the difference with Inlay Bits? Well, they aren't specifically Inlay Bits. I guess I shouldn't have called it that. It's just with the 1/4-inch diameter, I can get into tighter places with that diameter bit than I can with my big old honkin' 5/8 diameter bit. So, it's more rigid. I can do a little bit of finer detail with this than I can with that bigger bit. So, and I've just heard very, very good things about this bit. It's the white side. I'll look it up and I'll put a link in the description to it. But I'm not recommending it yet because I haven't even chucked it in the router. I mean, I just got it in the mail. So that'll be further down the road. So let's see. Yeah, Dave Gatton. Me? Long? No way. I know, serious. Don't you hate long videos? I despise them. Okay, let's see. It's 12:33 Pacific time. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up if nobody has any further questions. Next week, I'm not going to say what I've got going next week yet because I know a lot of people have been waiting because I teased it several months back, as a matter of fact. A lot of people have been waiting for the video of me recovering from a power outage. I started to carve into a piece of material and blew a breaker. And so I took the opportunity while that was happening. I happened to have the camera out there I was recording. I went ahead and I took the opportunity and I shot a video of how I recover from a power failure. Thing is, I'm waiting on one person to give me the go-ahead because I'm going to refer people to that person's website. And, of course, he's right in the middle of rebuilding that website. So I'm waiting for the go-ahead from him that, yes, we're all cool. Go ahead and refer people. And then once that happens, I can go ahead and release that video. But if I wanted to do that this week, but that didn't happen. So that may be next week. That may be a couple of weeks. It all depends on if he's got his website, his new website up and running or what. So fingers crossed, okay? So I'm not really sure what's going to happen next week. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and end this right here. I want to say thank you to everybody. This is craziness. I I don't know. This sounds kind of egotistical, but it's not. And I don't mean it this way. I went over 16,000 subscribers yesterday. And I got to tell you, nobody is more shocked over all of this stuff than I am. I never in my wildest dreams thought that 16,000 people would give enough of a ding dong about anything I ever said. So the fact that those people, that many people, would subscribe to what I'm doing here just blows me away. So I want to thank everybody. I want to say thank you to all of you for watching the videos, for sticking with me and joining me for these live Q&As. It's just mind-blowing. I mean, I started doing this for, to help answer the questions that I kept seeing over and over in some of the Facebook groups. And I figured it was easier to make a video and give somebody a link rather than try to type all this stuff out in text every day. So, you know what? I do appreciate everybody more than you'll ever know. This is great. Y'all are a bunch of fantastic folks. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. So, with all that being said, thank you once again. Hope everybody has a safe and happy Easter. Hope the Easter Bunny was nice to you this morning. And you are eating the right Easter eggs, not the little brown ones. And y'all go outside, make some chips, make something cool. We're all going to get through this together because at the end of the day, we're all we've got. Have fun. Love your loved ones. Thank you for spending some time with me. Happy Easter. Y'all take care.